Welcome to episode 27 of the Soulful Menopause podcast. Today I'm discussing the chaos this world is experiencing right now, and in fact, how this can be connected to menopause, and how vitally important it is to lessen your stress and drop into peace every day. And I've got a beautiful free offering for you to help you do just that. Welcome to the Soulful Menopause podcast. Discover how to transform the chaos of menopause into vibrant health and a soulful life you'll love. I'm Sally Love, natural nutritionist and soul wisdom coach. I want you to experience a soulful menopause that'll guide you into the best years of your life. Welcome. And first of all, I need to apologize for not releasing an episode for a little while. I went to the UK to run a retreat, and I managed to run the retreat, but literally on the last day of the retreat, the pandemic really hit and lockdown had started. So I then had a problem getting home for a while. But I'm home now, thankfully, and I'm just wondering how you're holding up during this chaotic time. I'd love to hear from you. Please do leave your thoughts, your comments, and you can leave them. For example, if you're listening on iTunes, you can leave them in the reviews section, or just hop onto soulfulmenopause.com and drop me a line that way. I wanted to share with you today an interesting parallel to this current situation that I became aware of recently. Now, as you probably know, if you've listened to me for a little while, you'll know that I'm always talking about the chaos of menopause and my way of working as a nutritionist and a soul wisdom coach is to help you transform that chaos into vibrant health and well-being and a soulful life. And so the chaos of menopause is important because in this chaos, there's this stirring up of things. And this is when transformation can happen. So, the chaos of menopause stirs things up within you and around you as well, where you can actually get to question everything in your life. Now, it does affect everybody differently. Sometimes, with the chaos of menopause, you may only experience one or two things, whereas somebody else, could really go through a very rough time and have some major transformations in their life. So we do all experience it differently, but usually we can all experience it on every level: physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Now, physically, of course, our physical health is affected in a myriad of different ways during menopause. Emotionally, we can experience the chaos of menopause through challenging emotional swings such as depression and fear and anger and anxiety. And on an emotional level, we can come to some, emotional realizations. These can come to the surface, some awareness around the fact that maybe you've decided you want to live life with more joy or more ease or experience more fulfillment in your life in some way. On a mental level, the chaos can bring up many different questions for us. We can feel a lot of uncertainty during this time. We can certainly query what we want to achieve in the next chapter of our life, how we want to live in the next chapter of our life. And spiritually, we can really feel as if the chaos of menopause is just like having a rug pulled out from underneath you. Your sense of belonging shifts. You can feel certainly more vulnerable during this time. You can feel less grounded, less secure. You can question your place in the world, and you can question your soul's purpose. And, it suddenly occurred to me that the chaos we're currently experiencing in our world due to this pandemic is stirring everything up in a similar way to the chaos of menopause. Everything is coming up and into question. Physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. It's affecting us on every one of those levels. And, just like the chaos of menopause, we're all experiencing it differently. But I do believe that, during this time, we are being given some beautiful time to slow down and reflect on our lives and the impact that we have on each other and, the impact that we have on our beautiful planet as well. And, as we've all seen during this time of separation, we've actually seen a huge amount of connection, which is so beautiful. So many people are supporting one another remotely. If you're living by yourself and finding it tough having no physical connection with others, if you have limited or even no access to the healing energy of nature, and for when you're having wobbly moments, I've created a free gift for you. This is a solution to transforming those challenging emotions into peace. So please do keep listening to find out more. And, one wonderful thing I've seen are some stories that are starting to come to the surface recently of how our rivers are starting to clear up around the world. It seems that our rivers have been given the opportunity to deal with the terrible toxic overload that they've been bombarded with relentlessly, day after day, year after year. And this pause has helped the water to start detoxing, to start healing. And I believe that we have this chance too. It's a time for us to stop and reflect and be in gratitude for the things that we've been taking advantage of, and that includes the health of our planet as well. And I feel it's a time to stop and look within and see things from a new perspective and start healing ourselves. But the trouble is that when you're experiencing these challenging emotions a lot of us are feeling right now, the fear and the anxiety, maybe some depression, some grief, some anger, certainly, and any other challenging emotions that you may be feeling at the moment, and a lot of people are feeling at the moment. When you're feeling those emotions, your body can't heal very well. And that's because when you're feeling these emotions, your body sees that as stress. It is a stress. And when your body is stressed, it puts its priority towards saving your life, because your body feels that stress is the most dangerous thing to its health and well-being. And you know what? Your body is absolutely correct. Now, you've probably heard this before, but when you're stressed, your body thinks that it's under a threat to its existence. It feels as if your life is in danger and your whole sense of survival is put into question. Now, you may have heard before about stress really being akin to facing a saber-toothed tiger, that it needs to fight off or run away from. And that is absolutely true, because your body does not know the difference between the stress it will feel around the emotions you're experiencing right now to being faced with a saber-toothed tiger. To your body, that is exactly the same thing. So in this situation, when you're stressed, your beautiful, beautiful, wise body knows that your digestion, your hormonal balance, your immunity, so your immune function, and other such vital functions of the body aren't really that important when you're faced with having to run away or fight for your life. So, your body knows that it needs to pull all its available energy from various parts of your body and direct it all as much as it possibly can into your muscles so that you can fight or run away. It is literally prioritizing your survival over many of your other bodily functions. So when you get stressed, it's very important for you to know right now during these times that your body's immunity may be suffering as well. So think about it this way. When your body is stressed, it's tense and it's contracted. You get that deep ache in your shoulders or wherever else you hold it, and it can be really tense and almost solid like a brick there sometimes, can't it? So when you're stressed, that's that tense, that contracted feeling. You're literally coiled up and ready to spring into action. You can spring into action to go and bop the saber-toothed tiger on the nose or run away from it. When you're tense and contracted, everything is squeezed so tightly and there is little movement. There's not much movement at all. Everything is all contracted. You're ready to spring into action. So when there's not much movement, there's not really much flow that's happening in your body. It's only when you rest and when you let go, when you relax and you soften and you take time to drop into peace, only then can your body start to heal. This is a really important thing to know, is that your body really is going to do its best work in keeping you as healthy as possible if you are relaxed and at peace as much as possible. Now, the thing is, we're all human, okay? We all feel anger and fear and grief and other such emotions, which is absolutely fine and totally normal. We are all human, as I say. And the thing is not to then create more stress and tension by telling yourself off because you're feeling anger and frustration and everything, okay? It's to be okay with that. It's absolutely fine to feel these emotions. However, the key is not to get carried away by them, and especially not feel them day after day and year after year, because this is what causes dis-ease. And then if you spend a lot of time in dis-ease, this could potentially lead to disease. And when we're caught up in these emotions, we can really sort of lose a sense of grounded security and stability within us. Think about it, when you get fearful, as you might well have done recently, we've all felt that, I've had moments of this too, you can just really lose that sense of security and stability within you, can't you? Feel like you're being just carried away by this fear that's really very strong emotion. And you can not only feel the emotion, but you can feel it physically in your body as well. So security and stability during these times is very important. And I do talk about this a lot, especially on my Soulful Menopause retreats, where the center of the Soulful Menopause path is a well-rooted tree. It's what I call the gift of empowerment. And I talked about that on episode number 25. The gift of empowerment is when we can be a well-rooted tree, securely planted in the earth, so that when we're knocked about a bit by life, it's like a gust of strong wind coming along, or perhaps a storm blowing our branches around, but we bend and we flow with the wind, but we stay rooted to the earth. And when you can get to this gift of empowerment, when you're grounded rooted, deeply, deeply rooted, you can still feel the fear. You can still feel the uncertainty and the grief and whatever other challenging emotions you're feeling. But the key point is that you don't get carried away by them. You can actually find a place where fear and grief live alongside joy and gratitude and peace. When you can get to that place, you can get to the place of feeling and being okay feeling fear and grief. You can get to sit with those emotions and let them flow through you. Just like being that tree in a storm, getting your branches buffeted around by the wind, but, still standing strong. This really is the gift of empowerment. And if you're firmly rooted, feeling a sense of stability and security, no matter what's going on around you, you're empowered. So it's of vital importance that you feel empowered during the chaos of menopause and the chaos of the situation we're finding ourselves in at the moment. That means then that you can allow things to flow through you. You can allow things to come up and unfold, yet still have a strong heart. Still be in touch with your beautiful soul's wisdom. So then you can easily see what you need to let go of, what's not serving you. And then you can move forward into a new way of life that's really totally aligned for you, for your highest good, aligned to your soul. So I feel that one important thing that I really want you to be aware of right now is that your immunity can be lowered through stress. So yeah, it's one thing to be making sure that you're eating well and you're taking some good supplements if you need them. However, if you're feeling stress, that's going to be undermining a lot of that. I mean, it's certainly helping, eating well and taking some good supplements. But if you're feeling that stress, then, you're just sort of fighting a fight there with it. And the thing is also, what I want to say is that stress can be present in numerous ways. We can have negative thinking. Watching the news at the moment can be very draining of our energy and incredibly stressful. Even just reading it quickly. This is why I am severely limiting myself to the news at the moment. I'll just keep in touch very, very occasionally, but I had to completely unplug from it for a while. And that really worked for me. May or may not for you. Try it, see how it feels. We're facing stress with all of our challenging emotions that we're feeling at the moment, and not having any physical contact with others. I mean, wow, how much did we take for granted having a hug? Going to see a friend and sitting with a friend over coffee, or going for a walk together, or sitting in a restaurant, So we're feeling stress because those things have been taken away from us right now. And so these are examples of stress, but also your body feels stress if it's not hydrated enough. If you're eating food or drink that you're sensitive to, your body will be stressed. If you're eating a lot of processed food, if you're not eating enough nutrients, or even if you're overwhelming your body with too many supplements, you're not quite sure what you're doing, you just heard of these various supplements that are good for your immunity and you're shoving them in your body, that may not actually be right for you. And that can stress your body. If you're not getting enough good quality, uninterrupted sleep, for example, that will stress your body out. If you're exposing yourself to lots of chemicals in your food, your cleaning products, your body lotions, etc. And, so it goes on, So our bodies are feeling a lot of stress in many different ways in today's modern society, and with all the chemicals and pesticides that are put on our food as well. Our bodies are like the earth. well, we actually are the earth, we are all one being anyway. But, our bodies have become so overloaded with stress, just like the earth has done recently. And we need this break to have time to slow down, to let go, to relax and heal, just as the earth is doing right now, which is really beautiful to see in some instances. So I think the one major thing that I'd love you to take away from this episode is that it is vitally important to manage your stress right now so it doesn't manage you. To find some easy ways to anchor yourself like that well-rooted tree. And to make sure with absolute priority that you drop into peace every day. Because one of the things that this pandemic is showing us is how important it is to look after our health and our well-being. It's showing us how important it is to live in gratitude and to stop and smell the roses. And if your body is stressed, your immune system will be stressed too. And we do not want that right now. We want to be in as vibrant health as we possibly can. So what I've done for you is I've created an online page that you can visit where I'm posting some magical meditations for you. Now, these magical meditations are short, and they're designed to help you do that essential task of letting go of stress and dropping into some beautiful peace every day. I will leave a link for you in the show notes, but all you need to do is head to ko-fi.com/magical meditations. That's K for kite, O for orange, dash, F for Freddy, I for igloo, .com/magical meditations. But like I said, I will leave that link in the show notes for you. And I've got, as I'm recording this episode, I've got 2 on there already for you, but I'm going to be uploading so many more. So this is going to be the opportunity for you to be whisked away to magical lands and just experience some beautiful peace in your life so that you can help your body to heal. You can help to strengthen your immune system during these times. Now, other things that you can do as well is to have a walk in nature. If you can't do that and maybe you haven't even got a garden, you're living in a flat, these meditations are going to be perfect for you, because even if you close your eyes and imagine being in nature, in these beautiful places, your body will respond as if you are actually there. Isn't that fabulous and amazing? I love it. So, if you can't get out, or if you're living in a city where you don't get to see much nature, please do tap into these meditations I'm doing for you. If you can get into nature, go and hug a tree. We can't hug each other, but you can go and hug a tree. Yes. Take a beautiful long bubble bath with some essential oils maybe. Play some games, we can play some online games with other people, who are another part of the planet. It's amazing how we can do that now. Listen to some relaxing and uplifting music. Read a feel-good book, and watch a feel-good movie. The important thing is don't watch any horror or thriller or anything that sets off your fight or flight, your adrenaline response, because that's just going to not really be doing you any favors. So find movies and books that make you feel really good. And just try my magical meditations. And, the other thing is to say is that you don't actually have to use them as a meditation. You can listen to them in the background while you're doing the washing up, for example, or you're cleaning the house, or you're on your laptop. Just play them in the background, because I've produced them infused with peace and joy and healing, so that you get to feel that when you listen to them. Okay, good. I hope you really enjoy them. And finally, if it works for you, imagine that you're that well-grounded, well-rooted tree. And when you get those moments where you feel those challenging emotions coming up, it may help you to imagine that you're that tree being buffeted around by a storm, but you're well rooted, you're well grounded, you're strong. You're a vibrant, powerful tree, and the storm will end. And you'll be standing as a beautiful, strong tree in a calm summer meadow very soon. That's the gift of empowerment. I'm sending you so much love and peace and support. Bright, bright blessings to you, gorgeous goddess. To find out more about how you can live a soulful menopause, please visit soulfulmenopause.com. I'm really looking forward to being with you again soon. Bye for now.